Alright, man, how are you doing, bro? So, yeah, I'm back with another trade recap today. As you can see, bro, Nas cooked me pretty nicely today, bro. I did a mistake not taking partial above these highs that you can see on the chart, but I'll get into this. So far, I've taken like three trades today. I took two trades on gold, and the one that I took a loss is this one right here, bro. It's on NQ. But look at that shit, bro. It just dumped right after, I think, yeah, right after 6 a.m. It started just dumping lower and lower, bro. And PPI news didn't do shit. We did got a like a gap down here right here, but I think that was because yeah, we do not have anything there, but let me see. All right. So that gap down was basically to sweep these lows right here, that low on the 15-minute time frame. But so far it didn't retrace at all, bro. But yeah. So I didn't get a chance to participate in any shorts today. And basically I tried this long and got cooked, even though it moved like 4 hour, almost like 43 points. Let me show you the execution. Do you see the execution right there? And I got stopped out. I convinced myself like to go break even, but later I thought like nah, bro, let just let it run. We have already swept these lows, and just by looking at all this wick and this gap right here, I think price is likely to reach up to these highs and probably gonna fill this fair value gap right here. But it didn't do that. It had other plan, and it to start me retraced back into that range and straight went straight down. And even though this trade failed, I'll probably I'll explain why I took this trade. All right. So this level right here was our old low. All right. That old low on the 15-minute time frame that we swapped. After we swapped that, this is the 9:30 open right here. So 9:30 open uh, traded up into this huge ass fair value gap. That's CB right there. If we put on the quadrant right there, it traded up into that and then sold off again, but failed to sweep this low right here. This low right here. All right. And I think did you had any SMT at that time? No. So we didn't had any SMT at that moment, but we did had a SMT around this time, around here. All right, right here. So basically, I should have went like I should have entered my long position like around here when we formed that bearish SMT just to trap sellers. But I didn't do that. I waited for price to pull back into that range. Well, I knew that it's not gonna go below these lows at that time, which was totally wrong until this was your initial target, but it uh, came back into this gap right here. And if you guys know what concept I basically use, so like how I view the market, bro, I basically use old fair value gaps. All right. Now, which one was that? Which one was that? Is this the? Let me show you why I entered on this candle. All right. I think it wasn't fair value gap, but the fact that we closed above this gap right here. Yeah, on this trade I didn't use any old fair value gap, but I did use them for uh, to see if it's gonna play out or not. All right, you're gonna see it. So basically, price came down, uh, traded down into this range, and if you put on your quadrant, you'll see price dipped below the 50% of the dealing range and closed back above that gap, that fair value gap. All right, and the second candle, and the next one, as soon as it opened up, I went long, targeting these highs basically. But I didn't took a partial, bro. Such a damn dumbest move that was. But you know how I trade. Basically, uh, it was a mistake. So whatever, man. But as I was mentioning, look at this right here. Now, for your information, I do not use any first presented fair value gap or whatever you call it. I see these things as fair value gaps and other things, and the one that makes sense to me, I use that one. All right. Now, why this gap right here? Um, got respected 2 times. All right. So, uh, oh man, my back hurts these days so much. So, what do you see within this range right here? This gap right here, this bullish fair value gap, failed to hold price or to push price higher. All right. So that means it's a uh, almost like a failure level, or a level that sellers probably won't let buyers to push through, if that makes sense. All right. All right. Whatever. But as you can see, the trade that I took, price did respected that for a moment on this candle, and at that time I thought probably gonna respect that and keep pushing higher, but it didn't do that. The next candle straight straight down into that range and closed below that. And look at this candle, it stopped above that gap's high. Look at this right here, it stopped below at the low of that bullish fair value gap. And look at these right here. All right. Now, how could you like use this information right here? All right. In what way these are useful for you to look for a setup? All right. Like, if I didn't took this trade right here, I would have waited for an market structure shift, which we have right here. We have a market structure shift right here, and as you see right here, we have internal low that got swept. All right. And then we ran higher for this internal low. But as long as we're below this low, right, this high right here, and also this gap right here, I'm just gonna view this internal high rate, I mean this structure break, as an internal high sweep. All right. And I'm gonna take this trade as a failure swing. I'm just gonna put my stop loss. I'll probably have my limit order just above that high, and I'm gonna put my stop loss somewhere around here and target for these lows. This is the most obvious one. That's almost like a forward trade. And also you can target for other liquidity that are obvious for market for price to take out. All right, that is the whole context, man. All right, so that was basically the trade for y'all, and I also did miss it, bro. But whatever, there are a lot of days. It's not the end of it, bro. But yeah, I'll just go over the gold trades, and yeah, bro. Right now I'm looking at gold, and I'm telling myself like, what the fuck just happened, bro? Like almost is that 16,000 points, bro? What the hell? 162 points. Fuck. Whatever, but here's my first trade on gold. I took the exact thing that you see on this chart. All right. Now I'll just go on the higher time frame just to show you what I was targeting. So on the hourly time frame, this right here, this is your midnight open. All right. So this high right here, that's what I was looking at today on gold. I was if I mean I was sort of bullish as long as we were above this low right here. So I was looking for a bullish setup at that moment, targeting that high. And on the lower time frame, on the 1 minute time frame, around this time, I think, yeah, 2:06 a.m. When the 2 a.m. 1 hour candle opened. All right. Yeah, 2 a.m. 1 hour candle opened. I saw this pattern right here. All right. What this pattern right here is. So we made a higher high. Then we took out this internal low. Then we failed to sweep that high. Then what am I gonna wait? I'm gonna wait for this internal low sweep and a clear swing low formation, which we have right here. This is where we have that clear swing low formation, and then whatever PD area I see within that range, within this whole range, I'm gonna use that for my entry. So basically, I used this gap right here for my entry, this fair value gap for my entry. Let me put that trade on here because most of you are not gonna believe that I've taken that trade. All right. For your information, I trade with Bybit. All right, it's a cryptocurrency exchange platform, but there you have this option to trade with, I mean, TradeFi. If that makes sense, bro. Like, I basically trade gold, forex pairs, and indices there. I do not have any other broker. I use only Bybit because I do most of my transaction with crypto because it's more easy for me, bro. So if I need to put anything in my wallet, or I mean in my account, I can do it instantly. I don't have to rely on any third party broker. So Bybit is more similar to Binance, but they have this uh, option where you can trade gold, Euro USD, any forex currency, you name it, and also you can trade metals and indices as well. So if you want to trade with them, make sure to check the link in the description. And yeah, so here's the trade that I took on Bybit. This right here. Look at here's my entry, and I pretty much exited. You're not gonna believe this, bro, but I had my limit order right around there, and I got out. And I'm thanking God that I got out there, because if I held on to that, even though I went break even somewhere around here, but bro, I could have like crashed out if I saw price reversed from that point. So you get it. But I missed a lot of opportunity during this New York session, bro. But I took one trade during this New York session today after we swapped that daily low. I'm gonna get into that, but let me just give me a moment. So here's the daily time frame. We swapped these daily lows on gold. And by the way, if you were asking me like what can gold do, gold literally can probably gonna continue going down and sweep these lows, or that's what I'm gonna tell you. But when you sweep these lows, I went to the what the hell? I went to the 5 minute time frame. All right, and around this time, as you can see, we had for our first market structure shift. Now it's not gonna be like a price probably gonna reverse from this and gonna continue higher. It's when you see this type of formation, most of the time price will just sweep that high, and if it's in a bearish environment, then it's probably gonna reverse. So I basically targeted this high and these highs, but I didn't hold for these highs. I think pretty much once we tapped into that fair value gap, you could see that price was respecting that 5 minute fair value gap pretty nicely, and we also had a 1 minute fair value gap right there. And when we formed this bearish order block, I mean, what am I saying, dude? We formed a bullish order block within that gap while we wanna sweep these this high right here. This was my initial target, so I entered my position as soon as we formed that swing low. I think around this candle's opening, and held on towards these lows, and pretty much that was like 200 pips and a 6 hour trade. So yeah, these were my trades, and I hope you found at least something useful for your analysis or whatever it is. But uh, one more thing, make sure to check out Lucid Funding. Huge discount is going on, and also you can get free pro. I think let me have a look at it, bro. I'm a, bro. I'll tell you what. I rarely remember something, bro. I rarely remember something. Like it's funny, but yeah, that's the truth, bro. Sometimes I like forget everything. Like, come on, load up, man. All right. So I think that I posted that on my Twitter account as well. By the way, chat, help me reach 1K followers on X, bro. It's been like 2 years almost. I didn't even reach 1K followers. Help me reach 1K followers. Also follow me on Instagram. And so the Lucid funding is currently there's a promo that is going on is like buy 3 pro evils and get one free reset. All right, you'll get one free reset if you buy 3 pro evils, and it's you only 5 people or 5 traders can use my code for this. So use code next gen. It's only valid for um, a pro account, and also 50% discount is still going on for the Lucid Pro, Lucid Flex, and Lucid Black. And what do we have else? And afterwards you'll have 40% and 30% uh, for your first 5 orders. You'll have 40%, and then afterwards rest of the orders you'll get 30% discount. All right, and the 50% discount only valid for 2 uses. If you get it, then all right. So use code nextgen, and make sure to follow me on X and Instagram. And if this video helped you even a little bit, make sure to give a thumbs up, comment down what you learned, and I'll catch you guys on to the next one. Till then, be safe, take care of your health, your mental health, and peace out.